No, it's 10:30 p.m. Hello and welcome back to Wada. My name is Beast, and today we're back with more with my hot-head wings. As I just stated, it is 10:30. I kind of decided to start late today because I just kind of assumed that, this route isn't gonna take that much longer. If it does take much longer, I'm in big trouble. Also, I'm an idiot. I'll be right back, actually. Alright, now we can start properly. Don't be too loud. We got up, but it was still dark, and we were walking quietly to the runway.
寒いです。
Indeed it is. I should have fucking grabbed my jacket while I was upstairs. I'm retarded.
明け方とはいえ、すごくひんやりしてるわね。それも、モーニンググローリーの特徴よ。
We recognize the cold air as a sign of the morning glory.
わあ。ハト、あんた起きてきちゃったの？ガガ。葵くん、ハトも一緒に行きたいみたい。
It's fine as long as he doesn't get in the way.
ハト、いいって。その代わり、おとなしくしてなさいよ。
Gonna get in the fucking glider.
ガッガッ。
Well then, let's go.
先に水気を拭き取って。
The runway that got wet during the rain was surrounded by damp, thick air. We brought all the towels and washcloths we had in the dorm and started wiping down the surface of the glider.
すごい湿気だ。
Even just wiping it lightly made the towels heavy.
昨日雨に濡れちゃったしね。私のせいだ。違いますって。先輩、落ち込まないで。そうよ。あまねちゃんのドジくらい、いくらでも私らがカバーしてあげるんだから。
Doesn't help.
気にしなくていいわ。
That does not help the situation, Kotari.
わわ。でもこれ、綺麗に拭くの大変じゃないですか？
By the way, feel the need to mention this right now. I have plans to, after playing Voice of Cards on here, to actually play SMT5 on stream. After all, instead of Kingdom Hearts. So yeah. Anyways.
乾かす必要はないのよ。表面の水分が落とせれば。それだけでも結構な重さになっちゃうからね。そのまま飛ぶわけにはいかないのよ。あ、そっか。
Even if it's only a thin layer of moisture, I could feel its weight after wiping it with a towel. That moisture was covering the entire fuselage of the huge aircraft. Since there's a glider that flies through the sky, this weight can't be ignored.
夏場でよかったわね。冬なら凍ってたかも。ピトー管とか詰まっちゃってたかもね。よーし、そろそろいいかな。じゃあ、発行準備始めるよ。
Aga took the lead and we started the pre-takeoff check. We were especially thorough with checking everything today. Amane was watching all of this from a little distance. What's the matter, senpai? She looked uneasy. Are you afraid to fly? She shook her head, then peered up at me from below.
私は本当に感動できるだろうか。
Huh?
私は心に欠陥を持っている。人と同じように感じることのできない人間だろう。もし何も感じなかったらと思うと怖いんだ。
Senpai. Iska promised to take Amane above those clouds. Apparently she said this. You'll definitely be deeply moved. For senpai, those words were part of the promise. Yesterday, she looked anxious when we were going through our flight plan. She might have been worried about that then too. What if I don't feel anything after reaching it? That's probably what she was thinking. That would mean the promise hadn't been fulfilled. It really was a lie. Won't find out if you won't go there.
Aoi-kun.
As I said this dismissively, Senpai was a little shocked. However, I quickly smiled. But I'm not worried, because you'll always see the food I make. Because you always say the food I make is so delicious. Just like everyone else.
葵くんの手料理は美味しいぞ。そんなの当たり前のことだ。
Senpai insisted. I couldn't help but laugh. I don't think your art is defective, Senpai. That's just some things you don't understand.
知らないこと。
Izuka taught you about many of them. That's why you like her, right? Let's try to go there, above those clouds. There's no reason to worry about it now. Senpai nodded and looked a little relieved.
Aoi! Amane-senpai! Cockpit onegaishimasu!
Got it! Around the time the takeoff preparations were finished, the sky started lighting up a little.
あれがそうなのかな。薄くシルエットが見えるような。
The sky was still dark. Even if the clouds appeared, we couldn't see them with the naked eye.
予兆もあったし、風も出てきてる。間違いないでしょ。さあ飛ぶわよ。みんな配置について。
At Aga's command, all the members rushed to their positions. Makoto and Asa were heading over to the winch. Yoru checked the towing rope and attached it to the glider.
夜明けまで45分ってところか。間に合うよね。
Yeah, we should manage.
葵くん、私が前でいいのか？
Yeah, it's easy to see from there, right? It's my mission to bring you above those clouds.
見やすい分怖いんだが。
Close your eyes for now.
もしもし、聞こえる？ウィンチ、いつでも行けるわ。
I could hear Kotori's voice through the
レイ
radio.
工作の接続も確認。ラジャー。じゃあ行くわよ。葵、よろしくね。
Aga said quietly, so that only I could hear. Then she closed the canopy from outside. The gusting wind was cut off, and it suddenly turned quiet. Relax, Senpai. Aga lifted up the tip of the wing that was propped on the ground. She looked our way for confirmation. Senpai, you ready?
いいぞ。
Aga, we're good to go. As I said that, I gave her the thumbs up. When she saw that, Aga returned the gesture.
ランウェイズクリア。小鳥、上げて。
At Aga's signal, the winch started up. The aircraft was pulled forwards and started accelerating. The wheels left the ground and our speed increased even more. We're ascending! I pulled the control stick back, the aircraft ascended. The glider flew towards the dawning sky. At an altitude of around 300 meters, the towing rope was disconnected. The wings caught the wind and the glider began to fly on its own. But we caught in a crosswind! A sudden rough gust of wind hit the side of the aircraft. Frantically squeezed the control stick and stabilized the glider. Senpai, you're right!
平気だ。
It was probably the influence of the morning glory, but the atmospheric conditions were incredibly rough. However, because of that, we could gain a lot of height if we managed to ride the winds well. The night sky was pitch dark. If I was careless, I could lose my sense of what was left and right. And even up and down. Senpai, could you keep an eye on the meters?
了解した。
When your vision isn't effective, you rely on the meters. Reading them can tell you if the aircraft is level, it's not suddenly losing altitude, and it's not slipping or skidding. If the aircraft is level. It's not something different. In extreme cases, you can fly even if you don't see the surroundings at all. I had to watch out for the crosswind and give my full attention to piloting though, so it would be a relief if Senpai kept an eye on the meters.
葵君、少し東に流されてるぞ。
Roger. We're heading for Mount Tsukubai. It's located behind the school, north of Kasagawara. I leaned the control stick left and stepped on the rudder pedal to correct our flight path. At the same time, I checked the lights on the ground. That light there, it's a convenience store in our neighborhood. That means the lights stretched out over there are... For today's flight, I checked the locations of all sources of light that are lit 24 hours a day and lined them up with a map. Kasagawara is quite developed. Aside from convenience stores, there's also gas stands, billboards, 24-hour supermarkets, etc. Even at this early hour, the city was lit up. Lights that were going in almost a straight line. Lights that were going in almost a straight line was the main road. Street lights were lined up along the roads leading towards Keifu Academy. If we followed those lights, we don't need to worry about getting the wrong way even when it's dark. Relying on the lights on the ground as our landmark, compass, and meters, we headed for Mount Tsukubai.
わー。小鳥、ハサちゃん、お疲れ。ハットくんも、お疲れさ。葵先輩たちは無事、飛んでったよ。もうそろそろ学校あたりじゃないかな。夜明けまでにたどり着けるかしら。夜が明けても、モーニンググローリーはしばらくの間空にあるはずだから、上がるチャンスは十分にあるわ。勝負は、筑波屋さんにたどり着いてから。山岳派に入れるかどうかね。心配です。何言ってんのよ。葵くんが何とかしてくれるって。そうね。葵に任せとけば大丈夫か。随分と信頼を寄せてるんですね。だって、今まで葵くんに任せておいて、ダメだったことなんてないもん。ああ、見えて。やるときはやる子だよ。葵は。信頼関係というやつですね。素敵です、先輩たち。
I don't know why, but my eyebrow here is fucking twitching every now and again, and it's pissing me off.
何にも考えてないだけ。じゃないですよね。どうだろうね。葵くん、あまねちゃんのことは任せたわよ。わー。
Whoa! Sudden gust of wind almost tipped the aircraft over, but I managed to level it. What was that?
バリオメータが反応してる。ローター風に入ったみたいだ。
The glider climbed up. We then entered the updraft. However, the updraft was unstable. The glider shook like a small boat floating through raging waves. Damn this wind! I gripped the control stick and stepped on the rudder pedal to somehow manage the wind, but... Ah! Suddenly my body felt light. We were falling. The aircraft started nosediving.
こう気流側に入ったんだ。
I got us out! Turned the aircraft around and somehow escaped from the downward air current. That was close!
怖かったぞ。
I leveled the glider in an area with more stable air currents. Right now we were below the mountain wave that formed above Mount Tsukubai. I tried to enter the rotor wind from here. The rotor wind is the air current that is created between mountain waves. Between the ascending and descending winds of mountain waves are air currents that spin like rotors. If we entered an updraft and an air current like that, beyond it should be the ascending part of the mountain wave. But because there are turbulences, those air currents are unstable, and right beyond their highest parts are equally strong downward currents. Just now we flew past the ascending part and reached the downward draft. downdraft.
高度をだいぶロスしたぞ。
The next time we get caught up in the downdraft, we're out. If we fall low enough to not be able to reach the rotor winds, it'll be hard to get back here again. Just getting into the rotor winds requires quite a little bit of technique. Moving from there into the mountain wave will be fairly difficult as well, but got the hang of it now. It's just like in the like in your simulator. As expected, the simulator that Amane made was top notch. Even though there were no actual physical sensations, it was very close to the real thing. I'll just like sit here with my fucking arms in my shirt because by God, my hands are cold. Fuck it. I'm gonna go grab myself a fucking jack real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. All the times I spent practicing on the computer should come in handy. I'm going again. I turned the aircraft around and headed to where we just were. Circled around the downdraft and looked for the updraft that should be on its opposite side. Where is it? The aircraft shook unnaturally. The tip of the left wing was pushed up by the updraft. Found it! Tilted the control stick to the left and flew into the invisible pillar of air. Our aircraft was suddenly lifted up. It was climbing higher and higher, and I could feel the vertical G-force with my body. A little later, there was a reaction on the barometer.
乗ったみたいだ。
Alright! Steered the aircraft carefully, taking care not to fly into the downward draft again. However, the ascending part of the rotor wing wasn't steady at all. It was difficult to stabilize the aircraft in that. Crap, damn this wind! I clutched the control stick like I was riding a wild horse. Although it was extremely uncomfortable, the glider continued ascending rapidly.
葵君、あれを。
Huh? Zephyr was looking up from the cockpit of a furiously shaking glider. Is there gonna be another glider? The sky was glimmering faint. Dawn was near. Then a huge long silhouette appeared on that faintly lit sky. Nah, it's just a fucking cloud again. A pitch black band that cut across the sky and split it in two. Morning glory. So huge I lost my sense of perspective. It was beyond my imagination. We're aiming for that. Even after coming this far, it felt like a ridiculous challenge. But on the other hand, I also thought this was right before our eyes. The shadow of that enormous cloud seemed like a harbinger of cataclysm. With that ahead of us, Amane's expression became anxious. How the fuck do you see it? She's on the front seat. Senpai. It's almost time. I'm gonna take you over there. The glider rode the violent turbulent wind, climbing high into the sky.
見てください、空にシルエットが。何あれ。嘘。あんなに大きいの？写真だと一部しかわからなかったけど。あれが、モーニンググローリー。くわー。去年の夏、あの丘で見た雲より、はるかに大きいわ。本当にあの雲の上を渡るんですか？もう夜明けまで時間がない。もしもし、葵、聞こえる？もう夜が明けるわよ。今、どのあたり？
We're climbing the rotor wind right now. We're almost in the mountain wave.
順調なのね。
No! Yeah, somehow!
かなり苦しそう。葵先輩、頑張れー！あまねちゃん、聞こえる？空見て、空！ああ、見ているよ。ここからならよく見える。大きいな。今からあれに乗るのよ。ああ、しっかり楽しんできてね。後で感想聞かせてもらうから。はあ、わかった。いいな、あまねちゃん。
It's almost time. I'm gonna take you over there. We were still in turbulent air for a while after Aoi had said that. The aircraft was shaking violently. I felt like I would get sick if I stayed here any longer. Seppo, you're right. Just a little longer, I think. Glad I was gaining a lot of altitude by riding the rotor wind. Like I always said, we should reach the mountain wave before long. Just when I thought that, the aircraft's rate of climb decreased. Since I was the one watching the meters, I told Aoi about it. That means...
ローター風の頂点まで来たのかもしれない。
Alright. Aoi checked our bearing. The updraft of the mountain wave was in the opposite direction of the rotor wind. We're switching to the mountain wave! Aoi tilted the control stick and stepped on the pedal. The aircraft started turning. After we flew for a while, the surroundings suddenly calmed down. The air had completely stopped and gone still. And then, the glider's climbing. Looks like we're on the mountain. We're in the mountain wave! The insides of the mountain wave were like a soundless world. Also, there was almost no vibration at all. It carried the glider high into the sky. This stuff is amazing. This is the first time I've experienced something like that.
全然怖くない。静かな湖面に浮かんでいるみたいだ。
It was a very mysterious experience. Feel like that while flying through the sky. In the meantime, the sky was getting brighter and brighter. The clouds we were aiming for were getting closer. That enormous silhouette had an odd presence, as if it had been there since long ago. It felt as if I saw something terrifying, those jet-black shadows stretching far beyond my field of vision. The glider continued climbing towards them. We'll soon reach it. The promise I made with Iska.
怖いよ。いいっすか。
空が灰色に見える？
空だけじゃない。世界全部がだ。
目の病気なの？
違う。色は認識できてる。けど、感じないんだ。モノトーンにしか。イスカと出会ってから、それが少しずつ変わってきている。そこかしこで小さな光が弾けるみたいに、少しずつ色を感じるようになってきた。
Iska looked like she didn't quite understand what I was saying. I think that was the first time we talked about it. Nobody had ever understood me when I told them about that. They would just look at me like I was weird. So I was hesitating to open up about it to Iska. Iska's reaction was different than what I expected, so I was secretly disappointed.
君といると、私もいつか空の青さを感じられるようになるかな。
バカだな、マネは。空の色がいつも同じ青色だと思ってるの？
違うのか？だって空は青いだろ？
そんなわけないじゃないか。ほら、見てみなよ。今もほんのちょっとずつ移ろってる。
移ろう？
夜明けから始まって、日が昇り、夕焼けに染まり、夜になり、そしてまた朝が来るまで。日は傾き、雲が流れて、どんより曇ったり、雨や雪が降ったり、1秒だって同じ空なんてないんだ。空の色ってそういうものじゃないか？
空の色。
After Iska told me that, and I looked up again, the sky above my head was suddenly tinged with a faint shade of blue. However, there was no parts that were the same. Deep blue, light blue, the sky peeking from between the white clouds was colored with a gentle gradient. It was changing moment by moment. That was the first time in my life that I had ever noticed the color of the sky.
あの写真、綺麗だっただろ？
うん。
僕は あんな色鮮やかな空を見たことないよ。あの空を飛びたい。あの光に包まれてみたい。あんたと二人でね。
いつか。
Stood shoulder to shoulder with my best friend and looked up at the same sky. I'm sure my sky still lacked color compared to hers. Even if we stood in the same place, I still couldn't see the sky that she was seeing. But I was able to empathize with her a little, with her desire to fly in the sky. It was the first time since the day that we found the abandoned glider that I could empathize with Iska. Then I had a hunch. If we are able to fly in the morning glory together, I might be able to see Iska's sky. That premonition made my heart race. Right up day on, I was looking up at the sky a lot. Senpai? Song Senpai!
ああ、大丈夫だ。少し見とれていた。
Oh, his voice brought me back from my reminiscence. We were in the middle of a flight right now. I'll take us a little higher.
あ、了解。
The mountain wave was lifting us up quickly. Seems like it would really take us to the point where we could finally look down at the morning glory. I was looking at the clouds. The sky was still only dimly lit. There's almost nothing that resembles color there. It was dark, a little grey here and there. The shadow of the cloud cutting through the sky was black. That day, when Iska disappeared, my world turned monotone again. But after meeting Aoi and the others, the blue color of the sky returned to me little by little. I also had a hunch that I might be able to see the side Iska wanted to see. Last summer, on the last flight with Aoi, when I saw those clouds up close, even though I was amazed by their brilliance, at the same time I felt a strong despair. I thought it was wrong. This wasn't what Iska wanted to show me. Along with that despair, my sky has lost its vividness. Suddenly a hand from the back seat touched my shoulder. Senpai, you're shivering. I noticed it as he told me. Seems like I was shivering. What's the matter?
怖いんだ。あそこへ行くのが。
Afraid. That was a lie. Afraid. Just a normal girl who does things a little different than other people. I couldn't help but be afraid. I deceived you with a dream I didn't even believe in. It was hard, Amane, to learn the truth. I want to be by your side. I want to be your friend. I'm a cowardly liar.
いつかのことも、自分自身のことも。
Please forget about me. Sorry, Amane. I'm afraid to know. Is it gonna be a case of suddenly, Iska's gonna fucking phone into the radio?
葵くん、これ以上、生きたく。
Get a grip on yourself! Aren't you going to prove that Iska isn't a liar?
でも、証明したところで、いつかはもう。
When Iska was writing that letter, she must have been having a rough time. If she had to leave no matter what, she wanted to stay friends with you. I'm sure that's what she thought. Even so, she left that letter behind. Why do you think that is? The reason Iska left that letter. She backed away so that she wouldn't get in the way of your future anymore. That's what she wrote, right? But I don't think it's just that. Wasn't she anxious whether or not she was fit to be your friend?
私の親友にふさわしいかどうか。
Iska thought she had been deceiving you the whole time. If she really liked you and wanted to be your friend, that must have been really hard for her. Because it would have been a fake relationship. If her lie was discovered, she would lose your friendship.
そんなことは。
Could I really say that that wouldn't have happened? In reality, that lie shook me up this much
でも
already.
その嘘は、私がつかせたものだ。
I called Iska a genius and treated her like some sort of prophet. She was trying to live up to my expectations and made up a dream she didn't believe in herself. That's what I think. Here's what I think. Iska wanted to be your best friend.
どういうことだ。
Iska was the one who tried to push me away. Anchan said that, if possible, Iska didn't want you to realize that she had a frail body. Because she wanted to be your friend on equal terms and to the end. True, Iska was trying to hide a condition from me. She didn't want me to know about it. She felt guilty to you because she told that lie. It's been a heavy burden for her. If she wanted to stay a friend, she would have to tell you the truth.
じゃあ、あの手紙は
After telling you everything, she couldn't expect you to remain her friend. However, if she left without telling you, then Iska wouldn't be able to consider herself your best friend.
イスカは今でも私のことを
Yes, she definitely thinks of you as her best friend. Otherwise, she wouldn't have left the picture of the glider in her room at the sanatorium, right? How about you, Senpai? How do you feel about Iska?
今でも一番の親友だ。私はイスカのようになりたくて空を目指した。その気持ちは今も変わらない。
Then let's go. As always said that, he turned the glider and we flew out of the mountain wave. The forward-swept wings rode on the winds and we descended. The shadow of the black cloud was already right below us. I pointed the nose of the glider in that direction. We have reached a pretty high altitude. The ground was distant and the city lights were shining faintly. Pitch black immense darkness was stretching out everywhere. It was a monotone scenery I was quite used to by now. A world without colors. Just when I was thinking that. Pedros! Thanks! I think like the English name of Saint Petrus, Petrus. Hold on, is like Saint Peter. Yeah, Saint Peter. Petrus is Saint Peter. You know, that's like the fucking... That's like a thing. Isn't it? With like, yes, and God said, let there be light, but Peter didn't find the light switch. It sounds weird in English, it sounds better in German. Und Gott sagt, es werde Licht, doch Petrus fand den Schalter nicht. That's why I suddenly shouted, Petrus! Because the motherfucker needed to turn on the lights. Rays of light shone from the eastern sky. It was the morning sun. It's dawn. All of a sudden, sunlight rose up upon the world. What's happening now again? It's using up all the CPU. Fucking close Discord. Even though it's not even using up that much. All of a sudden, I already read that. And revealed the passage of clouds that stretched across the firmament. That was the same movie we've seen before. Amazing. I could hear Always' astonished voice from the back seat. Couldn't say anything, so I just nodded. As the clouds was glittering with a golden yellow as the newly risen morning sun shone on it.
世界に色が生まれていく。
Along with the start of a new day, the world started shining. We're almost there. We're gonna reach it, Senpai! The glider was slowly descending while it was heading towards the passage of clouds.
綺麗です。あれが本物のモーニンググローリーなんだ。すごいね。圧倒されちゃう。去年見た雲と全然違う。葵先輩たち、もうあそこにいるんでしょうか。そうだった。葵、聞こえる？
This is Aoi, I can hear you.
そっちどう？うまくいってる？
Yeah, we've just reached morning glory. Whoops, I accidentally cut off Asa there.
了解。じゃあ、ゆっくり楽しんできてね。
Yeah, Roger.
もうあそこにいるって。どこかな？見えないかな？雲の上にいるから、下からじゃ無理じゃない？
いいなぁ。私もいつか飛んでみたい。パイロットの資格、取らないとね。私たちも。
Glider we were riding in was flying above the morning glory. We were able to cross over the passenger clouds by riding the ascending part of the rotary air current. It's like a road made out of light. Clouds below us that were lit by the morning sunlight looked almost as if they were shining by themselves. That sight was, say it, very...
美しいね。
word that suddenly left my lips surprised even me.
そうか。これが美しいということなのか。
Up until now, I had never fully understood what that word meant, so I don't think I had used it very much. But now, when I entrusted myself to that, my feelings, that word naturally came out. After that, I gazed at the scenery that surrounded us. Panorama of the sky dyed by the sunrise. Morning sun rising on the horizon. The clouds shining a golden yellow between the rays of light. Lakes spreading out below on the streets of Kazagaura.
世界はこんなにも美しかったんだ。
Felt like I discovered the truth of the world in an instant. Was this place that Iska had wanted to come to? Iska's sky. The scenery was her world.
いつか。やっぱり君は天才だ。
I whispered this spontaneously as I was surrounded by the brilliant sky.
葵先輩たち、今どのあたりかな？もうだいぶ遠くまで行ってるんじゃないかしら。いいな、いいな。グライダーに全員乗れたらいいのに。そしたら、ハットも連れてってあげられるのに。ガッガッ。どうしてもって言うなら乗せてくこともできたんじゃないかしら。その子だけなら。
まあ、次、モーニンググローリーが来るのが、いつになるかわからないけど。その時、また飛べばいいじゃない。そうね。今日で終わりってわけじゃないし。
私とヨルちゃんが卒業するまでに、また現れてくれるかな。あの人みたいに超留年するとか。やむを得ないかも。
ん？メールだ。こんな時間に誰からだろう。マジで？どうしたのアゲハ。
こわ。
やばい！すぐに葵に知らせないと。
I was crossing over the morning glory while making sure not to leave the updraft. This cloud is like a miracle for glider pilots, because as long as it's here, you can fly as far as you want without losing altitude. Also, there's this view. A 360-degree view of sunrise colors. It's just like seeing a dream. For a while now, Senpai, completely engrossed in gazing at the scenery. How is it, Senpai?
イスカの言ってたことは本当だった。
So you're deeply moved, huh? I asked Senpai jokingly, and she giggled.
私の心に美しいを感じる機能がないとずっと思っていたけど、あったんだな。
Iska wasn't a liar.
世界はこんなにもたくさんの色に満ちている。けれど、それらは光がないと生まれない。すべての色は光そのものだから。
Color comes to life through the reflection of light. All matter has an inherent reflectance. It absorbs all parts of the light, while it reflects the others. What gets reflected appears as colors. Why, thank you. I've learned that back in like fucking 5th grade. In fucking art class, that is. That's why if there's no light, colors don't exist.
私にとってリスカは光のような存在だ。その言葉の一つ一つで私の世界を照らし色を与えてくれた。きれもないリスカ、私にとってまだ。
Amanda's voice suddenly became mixed with tears. What's wrong?
本当は一緒に見るはずだった人がいない。そのことが悲しい。
Senpai. Promise had been fulfilled. Because of that, her emotions became even stronger. Senpai hung her head and continued crying in silence. She looked back soon. We had flown quite a long distance above the morning glory. I wanted to continue flying like this until the clouds got off, but we couldn't do that. After all, there might have been no place we could land at that point. Even if there were, it would be hard to get the glider back to the garage. And if there weren't, it could lead to an accident, so I'd rather avoid that. We need to get back to the runway soon. After I saw Senpai nod, it took us away from the morning glory. See you later. Next time you show up, we'll definitely come. As I said those words, Aga's voice rang out through the wireless radio. She seemed quite flustered for some reason. This is Aoi, I can hear you. What's wrong? We're near the islands. I was just thinking about heading back. This huge lake was dotted with small islands. What is? What is? Did something happen? Yeah, I can, but... Anchan is? I was a bit suspicious, but I followed Aga's instructions nonetheless. I passed down in the morning glory and headed towards Sazanami Bridge. It's a really long bridge that crosses this huge lake. As it connects the islands that dot the middle of the lake, it's shaped almost like a wave. It's well known not only for the beautiful view, but also because it's a shortcut to Tokyo. I can see it's Sazanami Bridge. Since just after dawn, there were almost no cars on the bridge. She said Anshan was there, but as we flew there, but I couldn't make out much from this side. Guess we should descend a little more. Decreased our altitude and got closer to the bridge.
もうすぐここを通ると思う。
Yep, there we go. There's Iska.
あれか。おーい葵
I barely managed to make out a small truck parked near the entrance of the bridge. Silhouette next to it must have been Anchan. Besides him, there's a girl. Who's that? So small it was hard to see, but she didn't seem to be someone I knew. Just, don't fucking jump out of the glider and use your parachute. I at least assume you have parachutes? Senpai suddenly opened her eyes wide. How do you see? You're behind her. Then she placed both hands on a canopy and stared at the girl. I'm trying. Got us as low as possible while leaving enough altitude to return to the runway. Huh? She has hella long hair now.
あれに、アマネが？
ああ、乗ってる。操縦してるのは葵だ。
さっき言ってた、五十嵐くんの 弟みたいな子？
あ
グライダー、完成したんだね。
あ、天音が残した設計図をもとに、あいつらが作っちまった。ちゃんと伝統として受け継がれてるよ。バカで無茶なところが。
They've inherited the tradition of being fucking maniacs.
そうなんだ。
電話つながるかな？
Ring, 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 ring,
も
ring.
しもし。
もしもし、あまねか？俺だ、達也だ。
達也。君の隣にいる人は？
イスカだ。さっき無理言って来てもらった。
He forced her to come. What did he do? Kidnap her?
今変わる。
ミスカなのか。
あまね、
ミスカ。
飛んだんだね。僕らのグライダー。
あ、飛んだ。私の力じゃ無理だったけど、葵くんたちが飛ばせてくれた。
後輩をちゃんと育てるなんて、あんたらしくもない。
何を言っているんだ。彼らを連れてきたのは君なのに。
僕？
ああ。君がトビウオ層に残したフライトログを読んで、それで来てくれたんだ。ガレージへ。君の思いはちゃんと届いてたぞ。アバネ小鳥っていう女の子に。
そうなんだ。どうだった？雲の上から見る景色は。
君の言う通りだった。感動した。うん。しないはずなかった。ミスカの空は美しかったよ。
そう。
君と一緒に見たかった。
見ていたよ。ここで。空からじゃないけれど。でも、一緒に見てた。あまねと一緒の空を。約束したから。
ああ、君は嘘つきなんかじゃなかったよ。そんなはずないって、私は最初から分かっていたけどな。
調子のいいこと言って。
ありがとう、イスカ。私をここへ導いてくれて。
ありがとう、あまね。約束を信じてくれて。
Senpai, that's probably our limit.
そうか、分かった。イスカ、そろそろ滑走路へ戻らないといけない。また後で会えるのかな。
Senpai timidly asked into the cell phone. She looked relieved and smiled. From that, I knew Isuka's answer. On the bridge, Anshin pointed his hand towards Kazugawara. It means they had the runway as well. As I understood that, I stopped circling around and headed back to the runway.
ありがとう、五十嵐くん。
何？いいって。それより、あいつら戻るみたいだな。
うん。
俺たちも行こ
もう少しだけ、ここにいさせて。
ん？いいけど。
見ていたいの。あのグライダーが、この綺麗な空を飛んでるところ、僕らの夢の翼だから。
It's ending credits. Ending credits flashbang.
わーい。もえもえ。
Finally up! Senpai, if you don't start getting ready, you'll be late.
なんだっけ。
Your lectures are at school start today, remember?
そうだった。うわー、遅
わ
いやー、あと、おはよう。お腹が空いてるのかい？
くわ。
ごめん、ハト、今急いでるんだ。わかったよ。すぐ用意するから。野菜をあげればいいんだったな。じゃあ、このレタスをあげよう。丸ごと1個だ。食べ応えがあるぞ。
くわ。
美味しそうだな。私もお腹が空いてるみたいだぞ。しかし、もう行かないと授業に遅刻してしまう。でも、それじゃあ、ハト、行ってくる。
わわ。
あまねちゃん、どうしてた？
She overslept.
やっぱりね。
モーニングコールしてあげてよかったじゃん、葵。
She was still a student last year, but now that I think about it, she wasn't coming to classes and lived on campus. She used to live a life where being late wasn't relevant.
社会性ってもんがとんでもなく欠落しているわね。
これはますますしっかり者の誰かさんがそばについててあげないとね。
Senpai is much more of an adult than I am,
い
though.
いじゃない。お似合いよ。
I mean, here's the thing, they really do. Like, yes, he's good at taking care of people, but at the same time, he kind of wants to also be pampered every now and then. Which Amane is, like, fucking built for, basically. And she desperately needs somebody to take care of her, or she would probably die. Summer vacation ended and the second semester was starting. It was in the middle of summer though, so the heat was still sweltering. Today was the first day of Amane special lectures. It was Mochizuki Sensei's debut.
昨日の夜は散々、学校で会ったらちゃんと望月先生と呼べよーとか偉そうに言ってたくせに。
でもいいなぁ。私も受けたい。望月先生の授業。
Whoops. I'll pass.
どうして？
You know, I think I would get too excited.
言えてる。
そうかも。
Several days had passed since the day when we flew to the morning glory. The dreamy excitement was gradually fading away, and we eventually went back to our everyday life.
ところでさ、ガレージのことだけど。
いいんじゃない？移転先はあるわけだし。
Yeah, I think it'll be okay. I knew it. Here you are.
いや、
And I peeked into the garage during lunch break. Amane. Mochizuki Sensei was there. The Mochizuki Sensei!
そうだぞ。先生なんだぞ。
Senpai proudly puffed up her large chest. Apparently Senpai really liked the sensei title. Seems that was because it sounded mature. But as was the case, she already had plenty of titles and achievements she could brag about. How'd it go, your class? Senpai suddenly lost her energy and looked weary.
散々だった。緊張してうまく喋れなかったんだ。
I see.
おまけに遅刻した。
What? Didn't I give you a wake-up call?
だって、ハットがお腹空いたって言うんだ。
That guy's a little greedy little eater. If you can't, but you can't carelessly give him food outside of feeding time. He'll get fat.
でも、空腹な者の気持ちはわかるからな。
Senpai's stomach growled. That's what I thought. Here. Thud. Set down a huge lunchbox on the desk. Go ahead and eat up, Mochizuki Sensei.
いただきまーす。
She must have been really hungry because she cheerfully unwrapped and started eating right away. If you were that hungry, you should have gotten something to eat. What were you doing here? Don't tell me she was looking at porn sites again.
懐かしんでたんだ。もうすぐここ離れるんだろ？
Yeah, seems like it. I lowered the tone of my voice a little and answered. After discussing it with the school, we decided to vacate this garage. It's not like we were just thrown out. But it's not like we were just thrown out. We flew above the morning glory the other day, and school highly values achievements like that, so we got to guarantee our club will be compensated for this. Current garage is in the way of the school's reconstruction, but they proposed building a new one somewhere else. Once they said that, we couldn't help but leave. If we wanted to cherish our memories of this place, it would be just our selfishness. That would be just our selfishness. Kinda sorry.
いいじゃないか。ここはもう必要ない。
Came to think about the past, but you're treating this issue pretty lightly.
だって、このガレージはもう役目を果たした。
Let's roll. Senpai nodded.
私たちの夢の拠点としての役目をな。
I guess so. We've already achieved our goal. In that sense, you could call it a good turning point.
でも、懐かしい思い出がたくさんある。だからこうして浸りに来てたんだ。
Senpai said that she looked around the garage. The old garage. Among the clutter and the things in here, there were plenty of small memories. A lot of stuff happened here.
あ、
First time I came here was on the day I transferred to the school. I was checking out the clubs and wandered in here by chance. Saw a beautiful, slightly strange girl staring at a drawing board. That's how I met Mochizuki Amane. It's been a little over a year since that day. Was it only or already? The way it feels like we've come a long way. I have a lot of memories here, but you must have far more.
ああ、そうだ。イスカたちと過ごした場所だし、葵くんや小鳥たちと出会った場所でもある。それに、
She got to mention the first time. Seppa paused as though she was immersed in those memories and close to her
葵
eyes.
くんと初体験した場所だ。
Yeah. Hey, how could you say that so smoothly? I got carried away by the mood and replied without thinking.
大切な思い出だろ？
No, I mean, we were talking about nice memories, and you suddenly mix up that kind of stuff with them.
葵くんにとっていい思い出じゃないのか？
No, it is a good memory, but you could say that we did in this place. You could say that what we did in this place should be our dark little secret. Of course, if we put everything else aside, my first time with Senpai was certainly a great memory.
私にとっては一番の思い出なんだぞ。
Wait, aren't there many others?
だって、あれが一番鮮烈な体験だったんだ。
In terms of impact? Well, if she put it like that, I couldn't deny it. The impact was definitely
青
extraordinary.
春って言葉あるだろ？
Yeah?
あれって何だと思う？
It means, good memories of when you were young, I guess? That was a rather clumsy answer, but it's not something you'd normally think about too deeply. I wonder if our current age counts as youth. I probably won't really know until I've gotten much older.
私にとって多分青春って全部ここにあったんだよ。
Huh?
イスカや達也と過ごした日々や葵くんたちと過ごした日々、そして彼氏もできて、ここで初めてのセックスもしたぞ。こういうのを青春って言うんだろ？
Yes, probably. I think we should keep that last part to ourselves, though.
だからやっぱりここは大切な場所なんだろうなと思って。
Talk like with someone else's life.
まだ私の中にそういう価値観が育ってない。ここに青春があったのかもって思ったのだって、ついさっきだからな。青春とは、過ぎ去りし日々の追憶の中にしか存在しないのだよ、きっと。
Well, you're talking like it's already over. We'll continue our activities after we move to a new place. Let's make lots of new memories.
ああ、そうだな。
Senpai easily agreed and went back to wolfing down her lunch. Well then, I'm going to head back to the classroom. Be sure to take the lunchbox with you. After I said that and turned to leave, Senpai took my hand and pulled me back. Then... Phew. What was that all of a sudden?
思い出といえば、葵くんにこうしてキスされて告白されたことがあったなぁと思ってな。
Blush. That was a really embarrassing memory. Moreover, I messed that confession up.
それじゃあ、また後でな。
Jeez, your lips tasted like sauce. I blurted that out like a poor loser and dashed out of the garage. Memories are in the past. They're important, but you can't stay wrapped up in them. Because people can't live if they don't face the future. That day, we had returned to the runway. Amane was reunited with Iska. Sudden reunions are always awkward, but so is keeping one's feelings locked up inside one's chest. While they were both confused, they were also happy. With Anchan acting as go-between, their relationship was starting up again. Soon their relationship will probably be just like old times. We were worried about Iska's health, but she said that thanks to focusing on her medical treatment, she had recovered to a point where she could lead a normal life. Her problems were caused by her physical constitution in the first place. As it changed while she was growing up, it seems she was gradually getting better. A year ago, when she was in the sanatorium, Iska saw an unusual cloud and a glider heading towards it. Seems that at that time, the idea that Amane was flying in it didn't even cross her mind. She just recognized the glider she had left behind and thought that someone from the soaring club had carried on her dream. This encouraged her. She gave her undivided attention to her recuperation and got motivation to go outside again. If she wanted to leave behind those feelings for others, she stuck the picture on the wall. Like Kotri said, Iska wanted to leave behind some proof that she was here. It was right after all. Time passed and the promise was finally fulfilled. I want to cross over the passage of clouds. It took a really roundabout way to get there, though. When I met Iska on the runway, she had a very cheerful expression. She still has some problems with her parents, but she said she wanted to face them head on and resolve them instead of
止
running
まって
away.
いた時間が、やっと動き出す。
Resolve those problems with her parents. I was impressed by those words. By the way, this is a digression, but Tobioka apologized to Iska for not delivering the letter. Apparently, Iska told him that what he did was for the best in the end. If he had given Amane that letter right away, she would have quit working on the glider, and we wouldn't have met her in the garage. Also, Iska and Amane might have never seen each other again. That aside, there's one more digression. Anshan was having a hard time trying to fulfill a long-time desire of his. Did you try inviting her on a date?
デートか。参ったな。どうやって誘えばいいかわからんぞ。
Now he's just sitting there like, okay, Anshan, listen up. I will be your wingman. Anshan, you've always been popular. You have some experience at the very least, right?
それがないんだ。自分から誘ったことはな。
Ah, I see.
本当に好きな女の子の前だと緊張しちまうものなんだな。
When Anshan said that, his eyes sparkled like a little boy's. It was a little cute.
お前すげえよ。自分から告白したんだろ？
Well, yeah. At that time, I thought Senpai was going to leave and I was desperate. If it hadn't been for that, I wouldn't have gathered courage to confess so easily. How about a double date?
ダブルデート？
Me and Amane, you and Iska. Wouldn't it be easier to invite her if you said the four of us would hang out together?
いいのか？それだと助かる。
Sure thing, I'll talk to Senpai about
な
it.
あ、頼む。
The fact that Anshan was relying on me made me feel kind of important.
ところでお前、いつまでも先輩はないんじゃないか？
Huh? Well, no.
今のお前なら胸張って彼女だって言えるだろ？
Not sure I can.
何言ってんだよ。あいつの夢を叶えてやったんだ。もっと自信持て。
Okay, I'll give it a try.
ああ、その意気だ。
I'm home.
おかえり。
Why are you wearing your uniform?
わわ
As soon as I entered through the front door, I was greeted by Senpai wearing a school uniform. I was so surprised that I blurted out, What are you wearing?
おう、これか？久しぶりに学校に行ったら着てみたくなってな。引っ張り出してきたんだ。
She doesn't seem embarrassed at
どう
all.
だ、懐かしいだろう？
Like, that's something you do like years down the line, not a year after graduation. Especially in your case. Well, yeah. Damn, she's cute. Really suits her. Even though she's already an adult.
ハト、ほらほら、おやつだぞ。
Senpai in her uniform was giving Hat some treats.
学生時代に戻りたくなるな。
She said this with a straight face. Haven't you had enough of being a student? Aren't you proud to be a teacher
う
now?
ん、そうなんだけどな。この制服を着ていた頃に、葵くんと恋愛してみたかったなぁと。
I couldn't agree more with that. More with what she said. That aside, for a while now, I can see your panties.
もっと、スカートを履くのが久しぶりだからな。
Senpai stood up and fixed her skirt. I also wish I could have fallen in love with you in your school uniform. As I said that, Senpai looked at my face with great interest.
葵くん、さっきから私の胸を見ているな。
Huh? Now that you mentioned it, I was looking at them indeed.
ズバリ、ムラムラしているだろう。
No, I'm not!
私にはわかるぞ。何せ、彼氏のことだからな。
She spoke proudly, but this isn't something you should dig too deeply into, Senpai.
正直に言ったらいいと思うぞ。
Senpai brushed up.
この格好ですれば、学生時代に戻った気分になれるかもしれないな。
She is being devilish. She wrapped her arm around me. I can see the world glittering in pink.
奇遇だな。私もだ。
Has anyone gotten back?
いや、誰も。
I loudly swallowed. I won't have sex with you in your school uniform.
素直な葵くんは可愛いな。
Hat, can you keep watch for us? I'll give as many cucumbers as you can eat after this. If someone comes back, just quack loudly. Alright. I kept asking myself what exactly was alright, but it seemed that Hat actually listened to my request. Thus... Senpai.
なんだ？
Without saying anything more, I took Senpai by the wrist. Then I led her to my room.
葵くん、ちょっと目が怖いぞ。
Senpai, do you mind if I call you Amane?
え？おう、構わないが。
I'll get in the mood that way. Feels like we're classmates!
じゃあ私も、葵って呼ぼう。
Danos! What?
どうした？
Nothing, my heart just skipped a beat when he said that. What? Huh? Oh, it's just like it showed the light. What? Huh? No, this fight. I think the game just had a stroke. Nothing, my heart just skipped a beat when he said that.
気に入ったのか？葵。
I'm gonna glump. I hugged her, and I immediately kissed her. Yeah, I'm not waiting for that line to finish. I love you!
いきな
While
り
I was kissing her, I stroked her back, touched her butt to her skirt, and groped her breast. Jesus Christ. Shouldn't you, like, close the curtains or something? Because, isn't this room, like, on the first floor? So wouldn't people, like, potentially see while passing?
いきなり。
Amane, you opened the floodgates! Your body's so soft. Your body felt so tender in my arms. And massaged her, I could feel that softness with my hands.
葵は私の体好きか？
Yes, I like it. I love your body, Amane. I roped her butt with both hands and tightly embraced her soft body. I was doing that, I kissed her on the nape of her neck, then I gradually started moving down towards her breasts. I want to have sex with you, Amane.
したい。葵と。
These two are far too fucking excited. The air conditioning wasn't turned on, so we both got all sweaty. But that only fueled our desires. Got on my knees before her. Then... Oh, he's gonna let the tongue do the talking, is he? Well, I'll see you after this one. They done fucking. I was in the dining room rewarding Hat with the promised cucumber for his flawlessly accomplished guard duty. You sure are smart, Duck. He was standing guard near the entrance the whole time until Amane and I came out of the room. Well, nobody actually came back, so we can't be sure what he would do in that situation.
すっきりした。
Amane was wiping her hair with a towel as she returned from the bathroom.
葵くんも入ってきたらどうだ？
I'll do it later, but more importantly, adding kun is forbidden from now on.
どうしてだい？
Doesn't feel couple-like. I'm gonna stop calling you senpai as well. As awkwardly as I tried to use casual speech, Amane made a face like she couldn't say anything to that.
じゃあ、私もそうするよ。葵。
Yeah. To me, Mochizuki Amane was a senpai I look up to, someone standing far above me. Still have those feelings, but as lovers, we should face each other as equals. At the very least, I have to try to do so.
今日も気持ちよかったぞ、葵。
And I, with a flushed face, was fine when we were doing it, but now that we finished, I was embarrassed because I exposed my raw, lustful self to her.
ドキドキしたぞ。なんだか強引だったから。
That's because you looked so cute in your uniform. The sight of Amane in her uniform sitting in the garage left a strong impression on me. Slightly regretted that we hadn't become lovers at that point.
そうか。じゃあ、また着てみよ
What will you do while you wear it?
う。それはもちろんたったいまー。
You heard Kotori's voice from the entrance. Hat stopped eating the cucumber and went to greet her. Kotori's home, your head is still pink-colored. Go back to normal mode.
いつもピンク色なんだがな。
She murmured while she was following Hat towards the entrance. Yeah, now she's like a child, but she's also an incredible person, a most admired senpai. I have to become a good enough man for her. I was thinking that I started preparing tonight's dinner. A few days later, it was time to move to a new garage.
こことも、もうお別れか。なんか寂しいね。天音先輩が戻ってきてくれて、ようやくここを取り戻したのにな。ま、しょうがないわ。これ以上のわがままは言えないもん。意外にさっぱりしてるね。あんたのことだから、もっとメソメソすると思ってたのに。立ち止まってはいられない。思い出は、過去にしかないんだもの。どうかなんとか言って、新しい場所の方が広くて設備いいからでしょ。ゆくゆくは世界征服を目論む小鳥団の新拠点としてはあれくらいじゃないとね。勝手に変な組織にするな。
Hey, you guys got all the stuff ready? I was carrying our cardboard boxes packed with our stuff. I looked back at Aga and Kotoru. You were absorbed in talking about something. But we're getting all nostalgic and we're talking about some memories, but, Kotoru isn't crying. That's unexpected.
こっちは準備 OK よ。あ、待って待って。
Kotoru hurriedly grabbed the framed picture from the desk. One was a picture of morning glory. Another one was was one of all of us that we took after our final flight last summer. And the last one was the group photo we had taken the other day after we flew to the morning glory. It's a really nice picture. Gotta say, Yoda got some fucking balls on her to sit like down on a photo. That's basically asking for some fucking accidental panty shot. There we go. That's the phrase. I'm fucking retarded.
それ、壁掛けにした方がいいかもね。そうね。もっと大きく引き伸ばして。
Alright, let's get going then. We have found our new place quite easily. At first, the school wanted to build a garage right in the corner of the runway. They already had a contract to loan the land near the runway. Moreover, they were even thinking of making a building and managing the glider as part of their curriculum. However, we found an even better place before that. That place was here. Oh, baby.
先輩たちだ。はーい。朝、夜、お待たせ。
Asa and Yuru came here first to get things ready.
さあ、どうぞ、入ってください。
This place really is big. Once we stepped inside, the size of the place looked overwhelming. When I came to check the place out, I was surprised by its size and
い
equipment.
やー、来たか。
Amane got here before us and was also inspecting glider that arrived earlier.
ねえ、朝、本当にこんなとこ借りちゃっていいの？ええ、構いませんよ。ソアリング部のお役に立てるなら。祖父がいいって言ってるんだから、何も問題ないわ。
This gorgeous dock apparently belonged to Asa and Yoda's grandpa, that is, the board chairman of Keifu Academy. Hadn't been used in a long time, so it was pretty much an abandoned building at this point. If it could be of any use to school club, he'd lend it to us for free.
ずいぶん本格的な設備だよね。朝ちゃんのおじいさん、ここで何してたんだろう。さあ。
In any case, that was without a doubt the best place we could move in. There we go. Although it was a little distance away from the runway, we'll be able to transport the glider on the trailer like before. Our new advisor, Yamanobe, will drive for us. By the way, our advisor changed from Amane back to the former one, Yamanobe. Tobioka asked Yamanobe to do so. He wasn't trying to hinder us. He genuinely thought it was necessary. But Shizuki Yamane has some childish qualities, so she wasn't really suited to be in a position of responsibility. That being the case, she took the role of manager of the soaring club. What are you doing? Our new manager, Shizuki, was groaning while looking at the glider for some reason.
コックピットを改造できないかと思って。
Cockpit? Why?
ちょっと調べてみたら、海外製のコックピットに新商社用のものがあったんだ。ラダーをペダルの代わりにレバーで操作するんだが。
That could be...
あ、小鳥でも操縦可能になる。
Hey, Koton! I'm gonna cover my mouth.
まだ言っちゃダメだ。もう少し検証してみないとできるかわからないからな。
I see. It'd be bad to get our hopes up for nothing. If that happened to you, I'd get so depressed. If we had that, even Kotri could pilot it.
あ、きっと喜ぶぞ。
No doubt about
さあ、
that.
だらだらやってないで、さっさと引っ越し済ませるわよ。んでもって、明日のフライトの準備。特別ゲストも来るんだからね。おー。
Wait, did that say like, YAG?
未来の話
Or am
を
I
し
just
よう。
retarded? Let's talk about the future.
ある一人の少女が夢見た未来の話。その時はまだ、それはただの夢でしかなかった。夢は、憧れるもの、見上げるもの。この空と同じ。けれどいつしか、それは目標となった夢を実現させようとする仲間たちを得て、最高だね。
の子、いい機体だね。飛び方
Actually
が素
put my
直だ。
fucking microphone back down. I always said, how is it seeing Kazugahara from the sky? And then said, I know, right, wait, why the fuck is this one
夢
yellow?
を実現させようとする。
Oh, because it's like the fucking whole weird voice segment before it as well. Oh yeah, you have a pilot's license too, right, Isuka?
一応ね、もう全然乗っていなかったから忘れちゃってるけど。
Wanna try piloting it?
いいの？
After all, this glider is what you guys originally tried to build.
じゃあ、サポートしてもらっていいかな？
No problem.
あまねのやつ、いい子彼氏にしたな。
Did you say something?
なんでも。
Aga, Aga can hear me.
聞こえてるよ。
I'm giving control over to Isuka.
そうなの？了解。
Alright then, go ahead.
よーし、行くぞー。
Ah!
少女は挫折し、夢はついえたかに思えた。けれど、本物の思いは人を突き動かす。また別の少女がその夢に触れ、受け継いだ。なに、イスカさんが操縦してるの？そうみたい。なんかすごい動きしてますよ。墜落してこないでしょうね。大人になって落ち着いたみたいに言ってたけど、いろいろフリーダムな人だな。いいな。私も早く操縦してみたい。ねえ、あまねちゃん。ああ、そうだな。ちょっと、設計図書いてくれるんでしょ？うん。時間があるときにな。もう、早く暇になって。うん。見上げているだけでは空を飛ぶことはできない。空を飛ばなければそこから見える景色を知ることはできない。それはひたむきに夢を追いかけ、一途に飛びたいと願った彼らへのご褒美。気持ちよさそうだな。
This is a really nice CG. Also, what's like that with those anklets? Those part of the shoes.
いつか夢見た未来が現実になったとき、すべての過去は報われる。無駄になることを恐れていては、決してたどり着けない未来。彼らは今、そこにいる。この大空に、翼を広げて。
Finn. Honestly, I'm tempted to just immediately get the fan disc and just like do like Kotri's after, then Amane's after, then do the twin like Asa route, then Asa after, then Yoru route, then Yoru after. Then attempt Ageha, most likely drop her route, then go into Akari's after Akari's route, and then into Kanako. Anyways, I stand by what I said. Amane's best girl. And disagreeing with me will endanger your kneecaps. Be warned. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and yeah. I am actually fine with the fact that I ended the last part early. Like, I could have gone for like an hour, or like almost maybe a bit under an hour more yesterday. Not an hour and a half. Would have been a bit too much, you know. Anyways, so yeah. Guys, enjoyed this one, and see you next time when we get on with good old Asa route. See ya.